Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dr. Kotei, the primary care physician you can trust, breaking down the topics you care about in a way that you can understand. This is my first time posting a video in quite some months now, and a lot of you are probably wondering exactly what happened. And well, the answer to that is life, between family, the kids, them starting school, me juggling work, the pandemic. This is just a lot going on in general. So, just been very busy, but I'm glad I've been able to get back to it now. And today I'm actually going to review a very popular natural supplement, and that's sea moss. This is one that tons of my patients have been asking me about. And like I mentioned before, one of my favorite things about having a YouTube channel is the opportunity to actually learn myself in addition to trying to educate and teach others. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what I learned throughout this process and share my thoughts with you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Trust PCP in order to get breakdowns on the most relevant topics in the world of primary care. So starting off with a little bit of a background on sea moss. The species is Chondrus crispus, and it's in the algae or seaweed family. It grows in the Atlantic Ocean coast on both sides of it. It's used in Asia, Africa, and South America. As a matter of fact, it's been used there for hundreds of years. And the variety that you've most commonly heard of is Irish moss. Sea moss can be consumed in many different ways, and there are tons of products on the market. It exists in the pill form, a powder form, and you can also take raw sea moss and make it into a gel. The steps to that are rinsing it, draining it, and then leaving it soaked in room temperature for about 12 to 24 hours. Next, you blend it and let it refrigerate for about 2 hours so it can thicken. The gel can be consumed directly, or it can be incorporated into a smoothie, which is what I've been experimenting with myself. If you want to know what sea moss I've been using, I'll leave it in the link down below, along with some other highly rated products. So anyway, the big question is, what's the big deal about sea moss, right? Why is it so highly touted, and why do so many people swear by it in terms of something that can help improve their overall health? Well, it does have a lot of different nutrients. Well, to begin with, it's low in fats, it's low in carbs, and it's low in sugar as well. And it contains vitamins and minerals, a lot of different vitamins and minerals like calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, which is good for your immune system, copper and iodine, which is actually good for thyroid health and avoiding getting a goiter, which is something you don't really see in the Western world anyway, but in other countries you do see that quite a bit. Now, another important fact about sea moss is that it's actually good for digestive health, and it's a pretty good source of fiber. It contains about 0.5 grams of fiber in a 4 tablespoon or 20 gram serving. And while this might not seem like a lot, the USDA recommends that we consume about 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day, and we only consume about 15 grams of fiber a day in the United States on average through our diet. So every bit of fiber that we can get through our diet can go a long way in terms of improving overall digestive health and help keeping us regular. Sea moss is also a good source of probiotic because it contains some live bacteria. So now, for those of you that are not really familiar with probiotics, the idea is that in our gut we have good bacteria and bad bacteria. And sometimes what happens is that the good bacteria gets killed off, and that allows the bad bacteria to kind of multiply and cause all these different problems. So what you need to do is you need to restore and kind of maintain that balance so that you have more good bacteria than bad bacteria, and that enables it to kind of stop the bad bacteria from multiplying and causing all those different problems. And sea moss can help with that process. Now, these are just some of the mainstream things that sea moss has been known to do, but research has been done that shows that sea moss can actually have a positive impact on many different medical conditions as well. Now, many of the laboratory studies that take a look at the effects of this are examining algae and seaweed as a whole. There's not a lot of data purely on just sea moss specifically, but because the members of the algae and seaweed family have a similar makeup in terms of their nutrients, these findings can apply to sea moss as well. They fight against inflammation, which is what many human diseases and conditions are based on. And this probably also explains why it's been used on the skin for eczema, psoriasis, and acne, which are all inflammatory conditions. And a lot of people swear by that. And it's also a good antioxidant. So I mentioned in my turmeric video how antioxidants protect against damage to the cells in your body. It has antiviral activity as well. In lab studies, compounds isolated from sea moss, one example is carrageenan, which is a compound that can be isolated, has been shown to have some antiviral activity against viruses like herpes, hepatitis, RSV, and even HIV. Some studies are ongoing to see whether it could potentially have some activity against COVID-19 as well. Now, I should emphasize that is just ongoing laboratory research. So that's not any kind of clinical trial or anything like that. So I don't want anybody going out there saying that sea moss can be a replacement for getting a vaccine or traditional COVID-19 therapy or anything like that. It could also play a role in cancer prevention as well. Some laboratory studies have shown that it's actually capable of influencing cell signaling and slowing down cell and tumor growth. There is a natural product found in algae as a whole called Fucoxanthin, which contributes to a lot of the positive health effects. Fucoxanthin can break down fat, lower cholesterol levels, and decrease insulin resistance, which enables better control of blood sugars. And there are no large clinical trials to support this, but it has been shown in some animal models. Now, in terms of some of the possible negatives of sea moss, there is a lot of variability in terms of the chemical composition, given that a lot of that depends on exactly where it's grown. Sometimes it might also contain higher than recommended levels of heavy metals and iodine as well. You do have to do a little bit of legwork in terms of, and research in terms of exactly where you're purchasing it from, just to make sure the one that you purchase is safe to consume. But other than that, I do give it high marks, and I think that it could potentially play an important role in terms of overall health. So if you're thinking about trying to get out, or if it's something that you've already been taking, enjoy. Thank you for watching this video, and peace out.